Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Thursday, February 29th. You've got a strong winter storm on the way, with atmospheric river moisture arriving later today through all day Friday and Saturday. A lot to get through. Let's get started. Key points we're going to focus on today. A strong winter storm is expected to move into the area throughout the day today and tonight. Our first cold front will move through the area during those overnight hours, bringing more widespread precipitation. Early on, we're expecting the bulk of that to be up further north, but overall that'll transition southeast later today into tonight. Our rain-snow mix is expected initially below about 5,500 feet, transitioning to all snow behind that with minimal mixing. Our second cold front will move in throughout the day on Saturday. So again, winds will ramp up for later today into Friday, decrease slightly for Friday night into early Saturday, before ramping back up on Saturday as that second cold front works through. Our latest forecast has trended colder and wetter, and I'll be breaking down all the details for you this morning. As that storm departs Saturday night into Sunday, some chances for snow will continue each and every day into early next week, but best chances for some light snow continuing into the mountains overall. Quick look at satellite for you this morning again shows mostly clear skies further east, some drier conditions this morning, but we are beginning to see some rain and snow showers begin to fill into the Magic Valley and Central Mountains. Those are expected to continue throughout the day. I'll be breaking down the timing for you later in the presentation. And look at the bigger picture for you again. So that large Gulf of Alaska low still sitting there, nearly stationary, has ejected its first series of lows. It's going to be the first one there working in through Western Canada. That's going to be our first cold front. So again, first low pressure system on the east there. It's our first cold front moving through tonight. Secondary one is going to be as that second low in the Gulf of Alaska actually works southeast, bringing all of its moisture with it into our area. So we're keeping an eye on that for you over the next several days. Weather outlook for your next 5 days. We'll be focusing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as the most impactful period of weather, particularly on Friday and Saturday region-wide. Rain, snow showers, and as far as breezy to locally gusty winds. That'll be the go-in trend with widespread areas of blowing and drifting snow, making travel very difficult to impossible at times. For Sunday, we're going to keep some snow chances going, much lighter than what we saw on the previous days, with just some snow showers continuing for your Monday. Here's the latest look at the watches, warnings, and advisories in our area. If you have any travel plans over the next couple of days, especially Friday and Saturday, certainly something to keep in mind. Get the latest forecast as you're headed out the door. But winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings are now in effect for our entire warning area. Temperatures today, it's going to be a cool morning, especially in some of our mountain basins further east that stayed a little bit clearer skies. But overall, teens, 20s, and 30s to kick things off, with afternoon highs in the 30s, 40s to low 50s. And speaking of strong cold fronts, with that, we do have a slight risk for some thunderstorms this afternoon. The HRF probability of thunder there on your right showing about a 20 to 40% chance up there in the central mountains, up into the northern portions of Idaho and Montana. But overall, as you get further south and east, about a 10 to 20% chance, not as strong, but certainly along that line, could see some thunder snow with some heavy bands of precipitation built into the area. And before I get to the snowfall amounts for you this morning, let's talk timing for the next couple of days. So if you're up there this morning, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we'll start you off at 5 here. Overall snow has begun in the Wood River Valley, north into the Sawtooths. That'll continue throughout the morning hours, taking you through 8, 9 o'clock, and seeing some rain and snow showers begin to shift south and east as that first initial wave of moisture begins to work through. But overall, that's going to be the warm front. So warm front, it's going to be a little bit warmer. Temperatures this afternoon, pretty mild as you get further south and mostly dry. So again, just some minor impacts. We'll see winds beginning to ramp up later today ahead of that cold front, but there you can see that cold frontal boundary starting to swing through. Again, rain snow mix in the valleys initially, followed by all snow as the front works through. So again, front still up in the central mountains for tonight, but heading into early tomorrow. That'll work onto the Snake Plain with widespread snow expected, and that'll continue all the way throughout the day on Friday as we trend more colder behind that front. Winds will continue throughout the day on Friday, decreasing slightly for Friday night before ramping back up for Saturday as our second cold front works through. And here's a look at the snowfall amounts for you today. Again, best chances for that more moderate to major impacts will be up towards the Wood River Valley and Stanley Basin areas. Could see up to about a foot of snow up on Galena just today, with some locally higher totals in the mountains, lighter snow elsewhere. Here's a look at those wind gusts for you today. So downsloping winds further south, where we're getting those strong southerly winds as a warm front pushes forward into the area. But gusts region-wide about that 30 to 50 mile an hour range, a little bit lighter for some localized areas. And by tonight, as we get that cold front, so warm front this morning, cold front this afternoon, later today into this evening through the overnight hours, winds will ramp up for tonight, peaking during those overnight hours into early Friday. Wind gusts about 40 to 50 miles an hour, locally higher, especially as you get into the mountains. Temperatures on Friday as that cold front swings through. It's overall going to be at least more mild in the morning, courtesy of those widespread cloud cover. But overall, teens 20s and 30s with afternoon highs 20s, 30s, low 40s. But we are expecting, again, mostly snow with this event. Sometimes the temperatures can be a little tough to resolve behind a cold front. So even just a couple degrees colder here, it's going to be all snow. And that's kind of what we're going to be predicting for Friday. And speaking of Friday, here's a look at those snowfall amounts on Friday. About 1 to 4 inches in the Snake Plain. Locally higher amounts as you get, especially in the mountains, south and east of the Snake Plain. Places like Soda Springs can pick up 8 to 12 inches of snow tomorrow as atmospheric river moisture really develops into our mountain areas. So this is looking at a pretty decent mountain snowfall event, and not even to exclude our valleys, still getting some moderate to heavy snow. Up towards the Wood River Valley, Stanley Basin, Teton Valley area along the Wyoming border. Keeping an eye on there for you for Friday. And wind gusts on Friday, again, as far as the strongest wind gusts will be about 40 to 50 miles an hour, a little bit lighter as you get further south and west, but still concerned with some areas of blowing and drifting snow. For Friday night, winds will again taper off slightly, gusts about 20 to 35 miles an hour. So if you're looking for a break reprieve in some of the winds once we get started, Friday night will be your best bet, but still keeping some lingering breeziness going for our region. And for Saturday, teens 20s and 30s in the morning, afternoon highs 20s and 30s, warmest areas in the low 40s. Snowfall amounts on Saturday. Again, this is looking like the most impactful day across our lowest elevations. So we get colder air. That second cold front will be moving through. We won't have as much warm air to deal with. So what that means is better snow rates, more efficient snowfall as we get some of that cold front working through. But overall, about 2 to 6 inches in the Snake Plain. Locally higher totals, especially as you get into the mountains where we could see some moderate, major, even some extreme impacts if you're headed up and over some of the mountain passes where snowfall rates throughout the day could be just sustained at about 1 to 2 inches an hour, looking towards the Bear River Range and Tetons. And here's a look at the total for you Thursday through Saturday. Again, across the Snake Plain, generally 2 to 6 inches. Locally higher totals, about 6 to 10 on some of our benches and out towards craters. But overall in the mountain valleys, especially outside of the Magic Valley region, generally looking at about 1 foot to 1.5 feet with locally higher totals, especially as you get in the mountains, looking like 1 to 3 feet with 4 feet or more across the highest ridge lines and peaks of the Central Mountains, Bear River Range, and Tetons. And this will not be a localized snow event. This is taking a look at Thursday through Sunday across the west, and you could see places down towards the California, but as far as all the way up into Washington, Oregon, the whole way down the Sierra Nevada. It's going to be a very impressive snowfall event, one of the wettest they've seen this year for sure, with some places picking up about 10 feet of snow. And let's get back to our area. Wind gusts on Saturday. Gusts still hanging on about 40 to 50 miles an hour. Again, this will be with already fresh snow fallen. So this is going to be kind of that most impactful day for us region-wide. We've got snow following the cold front, and we're going to have those breezy winds pick things back up on Saturday. So certainly keep that in mind as you're out this weekend. And by Saturday night, winds will continue. Again, best chances for precipitation will begin to shift out of the area, but overall, at least that moderate to heavy stuff will move out, but we're still keeping some light to moderate snow in for your Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, cold morning further north, single digits above and below zero with warmest areas in the teens and low 20s. Afternoon highs noticeably cooler and well below normal, 20s and 30s. Snowfall amounts on your Sunday, again, about 1 to 3 inches overall for our region, a little bit higher as you get into the mountains south and east of the Snake Plain and across the western central mountains. And wind gusts on Sunday, again, not looking as breezy. Gusts should stay less than 30 miles an hour, but if you're dealing with some blowing and drifting snow, that certainly will continue at times for Sunday. And by Sunday night, winds will continue to drop off, and as once we get past sunset Sunday night, should be continuing to drop off into early next week. Here's a first look heading into the early part of next week, first full week of March. Going to be single digits above and below zero and some of our mountain bases, warmest areas in the teens, with afternoon highs still hanging out in those 20s, 30s to low 40s. Snowfall amounts on your Monday, again, best chances for snow will shift into the mountains, generally only over about a trace to maybe 3 or 4 inches across the highest elevations. And wind gusts on Monday should stay less than about that 25-mile-an-hour trend, which will be fairly light considering the last several days in our area. And by Monday night, keep a repeat of that going for you. And to look at what's to come, the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook keeps us in that near normal to slightly above normal time frame. So at least some active weather, especially further west, impacting our area. And 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, that'll keep things trending below normal in our area, some more near normal conditions as you get east of the divide. 8 to 14, again, keeps us in that near normal to slightly above normal, but you're starting to see that below normal working into Montana. So again, we'll keep some active weather going through to the early and middle parts of March at this point. And with respect to temperatures, still trending that near normal to slightly below normal. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome Thursday and do stay safe out there.